My name is Darryl Matthews and I am the design lead for inline innovation for NSW and special projects. ISPA is a new way of thinking. It's part of our philosophical approach in our design team. It stands for Improvise, Scavenge, Protect and Adapt. Improvising against the unexpected, scavenging technologies internally within Nike and externally with external partners for an adaptive, protective concepts. Correct, but it takes more than one person to design the shoe. I put a sum of parts together. We had a digital team, a computational designer that created the algorithms to create the geometries on the tooling. We explored drilling holes, taking the weight out of existing foams as a team, as a development team and design team, and then the upper then came from myself. It did. It was originally in the ISPA kind of mentality, the way we're kind of exploring the geometries within the foam to create a new underfoot comfort sensation. The upper itself has similarities to some of the flavours that we were putting into, like the Off-White collaborations that came from the same category. But only maybe the tooling and maybe just like the method of kind of like how we explored the ideation of the concept. Yeah, I don't think any designer thinks that they're going to have a style that just goes to market that's going to sell out in like a minute. We kind of knew that it had this kind of like something about it, but we didn't know it was going to be the phenomenon that it's become, which we were all completely like humbled by the reaction that it's received. Apparently, I don't know, but apparently I've read people are texting me. People are always kind of like shouting out to me about it's doing this on this blog. People are doing this with it. This graffiti artist is doing this on this building. Somebody's made a giant one. It's all pretty crazy. I think it has like a future nostalgic aesthetic that people can kind of like digest, but they just can't put their finger on it why it looks different. I mean, all the proportions of the upper were taken from the original Internationalist. So the length of the vamp, the way the eye stay, the heel clip, and we wanted to pay homage to the past, but reappropriate it into our future. So the tongue, for example, the shape of the tongue that you can see through the translucent upper is the exact shape of the original Internationalist eye stay, and then we've overlaid our new interpretation of the eye stay over it, so you get this like depth of past and present. But I think it's like a future nostalgia. Yes, it's completely for daily use, though I would argue that you could probably run in it. I mean, the tooling has a lot of innovation that's been applied to it. The foam itself is the exact foam that we use on the performance running tooling. The geometries, the algorithms are the same. I don't know, try it out. I think it's not just a category, it's a collective of minds, and they don't necessarily have to work in our category. So when the new season starts, we'll go and source who we need to that would best provide the insight that we need to create the narrative that we would like to present to our consumers. And I feel like this way of like thinking in design, it's like a small little movement. And I think it offers, a new kind of like unique way of working, and offers, a lot more thought-provoking kind of product, which you've just seen in the room next door. No, it was at the time when we started it. It was almost like just a current state of society. You know, there was a lot of kind of like unrest. There was a lot of like uprising within. Without sounding kind of like doom and gloom, you know the whole kind of fight and flight analogy. A lot of people were running away from things instead of like standing up for what they kind of believing in. And we kind of like jumped on that and kind of provided the concepts that you see next door without giving too much away. Yeah, it's true, right. And even when we work with the collaborators, I mean, most of that product already exists. You know, it's just been veneered or reappropriated. Not all collaborations, but you know, there's a different kind of like demographic collaborations that we kind of tailor the projects to.
Ok,
Yeah.
well, that's all. Esto fue todo. Esto ha sido una entrevista bastante interesante. Yo soy Sam y nos vemos en la siguiente.